Today, we are going to talk about something, well, it's a pretty simple technique, but it is incredibly powerful for reframing challenges. It's all about finding the good that's hiding inside of any experience, no matter how tough it might seem. So let's just dive right in.
So let me ask you this. Have you ever had one of those days, or maybe it's been weeks, where you just feel completely and totally stuck? You know the feeling. You're overwhelmed, you're stressed out, and you're just trying to make it through the day. Well, that feeling, it actually has a name.
It's called survival mode. And think about what that really means. Your entire system feels unsafe. So what happens? Your mind narrows its focus to see only the problems, and you start reacting purely from a place of fear. But here's the thing you have to remember. This isn't a weakness. It's just your nervous system doing its job, trying to protect you. And the first step to changing it is simply noticing that you're in it. And look, this isn't some abstract concept. I'm pretty sure we can all recognize these behaviors, right? It's that feeling of overthinking a decision until you are completely paralyzed. Or that late night doom scrolling, looking for, I don't know, some kind of relief. Maybe it's jumping from one task to another without ever finishing the one that actually matters. These are all telltale signs that your system has slipped into survival mode.
Okay, so how do we get out of it? Well, the key is actually surprisingly simple. It all comes down to changing the central question you're asking yourself. So you stop asking the victim-focused, why is this happening to me? And you pivot. You pivot to a creator-focused question. What if this is happening for me? And that is the real magic behind this simple shift. I absolutely love this quote from Joe Dispenza. The moment you change your question, you change your energy. You see, that change in your internal state is what gives your external reality permission to start transforming. It all starts with that one simple question you ask yourself.
All right, so we get the what and we get the why. Now let's get to the how. I want to show you a wonderfully practical tool you can start using, like right now. It's called the Franklin T-square.
And honestly, setting this up couldn't be any easier. Just grab a blank piece of paper, draw a line right down the middle. That's your T. On the left side, you're going to write challenge, and on the right side, you write gift/learning. And that's it. Your tool is ready to go. So here's what it looks like in practice. On the left, you write down the hard stuff. I lost my job. They betrayed me. Then on the right, guided by that new question, what if this is for me? You start to explore the potential gifts. What if losing my job is actually pushing me toward my true calling? You know, a betrayal? Well, maybe that becomes a powerful lesson in setting boundaries and knowing my own worth. This is how you actively start to harvest the good from a really difficult situation. But what about when the pain is just too raw? When you look at that right column and you just can't see a gift? That is totally okay. The key here is not to force it. Instead, you can just write this one powerful sentence. I don't know yet, but I trust I will. That simple act, it shifts you out of the energy of resistance and into the energy of trust. Now, for this whole process to really work, we have to talk about the key mindset behind it all. It's all about acceptance, but maybe in a way you haven't really thought about it before. This is so important. Acceptance does not mean you approve of what happened. It doesn't mean you have to like it or agree with it. It is simply acknowledging reality. This thing happened. See, fighting reality, wishing it were different, that's what keeps us stuck. Accepting that it happened is what frees up your energy to actually move forward. I love this metaphor because it makes the whole concept so clear. Imagine the challenge is this heavy bag that you have to carry. Okay, that's the situation. But resistance, fighting it, being angry about it, that's like you actively adding more rocks into the bag, just making it heavier and heavier. Acceptance doesn't magically make the bag disappear, but what it does is crucial. It stops you from adding any more weight. So what are we really aiming for here? It's not about suddenly feeling amazing or having the whole problem just vanish. No. The real goal, the true power of this, lies in something much smaller and, frankly, much more achievable: micro shifts. So what does a real shift actually feel like? It's not some huge dramatic lightning bolt. It's feeling just 2% less heavy. It's that moment when you realize your shoulders have dropped and your jaw isn't clenched anymore. It's a tiny bit of space opening up in your racing mind, just enough to see one small next step you can take. These are the real, tangible signs that you're changing your state. And that is the whole point. Every single one of those tiny little micro shifts, that's the evidence. It's the proof that you are successfully moving out of that reactive, problem-focused survival mode and stepping back into a state of creation, where you have options, where you have agency again.
So I'll leave you with this final thought. Just take a moment with it. What gift, what piece of learning or strength might your current challenge be hiding? Because finding that answer, well, that could be the start of your next great shift. Thanks so much for being here with me.